Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. I'm Elisabetta, your watercolor friend from Italy, and I have a passion for art supplies, a passion and a curiosity. Today I have an unboxing video and then some swatching. I think I was contacted by Meeden. I knew them years ago because they made palettes, and now they make a whole range of art supplies, and they were so nice to send me some product to review for you. So I'm very excited to do it today. And of course, you know me, it's going to be totally an honest review, but let's see what they sent me. So, unboxing time. First of all, they have sent me this beautiful double bowl for water. It's made of porcelain and quite huge, very sturdy, thick porcelain, great quality. I always use two jars, one for clean water and one for rinsing my brushes, so it's perfect for the way I use water in watercolor. Then let's open this second bag, and it's full of goodies, very generous of them, really. Thank you, Meeden, really thank you. And I already see some watercolor paper. Well packed, very well packed. And such a good surprise, because it's 100% cotton, as you can see. And I have chosen a smaller format because I like to paint small, 300 GSM. Then a porcelain paint palette. The palettes are wonderful. I already own two. And this one has a lid, which is great because you can replace the lid, and your paint doesn't get dusty between painting sessions. There are 24 wells, so it's perfect for a set. And you can use the lid as a mixing tray, of course. And then colors, watercolor paint set. Should be 24 tubes. And there are pigment informations. So let's try immediately. They have information about light fastness. They're all rated quite light fast, I would say. And okay, now we will swatch them. So, wow, always exciting. High extensibility, bright colors, versatility, non-toxic. They're quite huge, these tubes. I see they have a rating of AP, conforms to ASTM, so it's the American Certification Institute that certifies that colors are non-toxic, which is very important, I think. And you have all the information also on the tube. So I think that it's time to swatch them. I start immediately. Okay, as you see, I have just scribbled some doodles to verify transparency, translucency, or opacity, because sometimes student grade, and I think this paint is classified as student grade, has problems with opacity. So let's test it. Although each tube has the indication if it is opaque or transparent, or like in this case, semi-opaque. But let's start. The other thing that I wanted to tell you is that the size is quite impressive, because it's 12 milliliters, which is quite a huge size. It's like the Mameri brand, for instance. So you can paint a lot with this. But I'm very excited to start swatching, actually. Okay, this is the white, should be quite opaque. Can you see it? Should be quite opaque because it is PW6, which is titanium white, the most opaque type of white, so it's useful to add the highlights. I must say that I've learned to appreciate this type of pigment. Lemon yellow should be semi-opaque. PY3, which is Hansa yellow light, quite common pigment even in artist grade, and I must say it looks very nice, very vibrant. Good start, Meeden, good start. Pale yellow PY1, not a pigment that I have seen often in my life. It's Hansa yellow, and it's a primary yellow, very pretty, very pretty. I think this is marginally light fast, but still a good performance. Very vibrant. Gamboge. Gamboge is PY1, this one Hansa yellow, plus permanent orange PO13, and this is a pigment that is marginally light fast, this orange. So if you want to sell, maybe be careful, but for a sketchbook or for learning, these colors are beautiful, saturated and vibrant. Beautiful warm yellow gamboge. Looks really like a gamboge to me. The name of color so far is spot on. Yellow ochre PY42, so it's a single pigment, a very common pigment for yellow ochre, very earthy, slightly opaque as it should be. And PO13, it's beautiful, wonderful orange. Too bad it's not too light fast, but it is very beautiful. I can see myself using this in sunsets, for instance. How pretty. Scarlet red, PR21. It's color red 21, and I can tell you that it moves very well on paper, and it's very vibrant, it's very beautiful. This is one of those pigments that I haven't really met before, so there's not much I can tell you about light fastness. However, it looks beautiful. Vermilion. They all move incredibly well on paper, and this is made with PR21, this same pigment red 21, and PO13, which is this permanent orange, which is very beautiful but marginally light fast. So it's good for sketchbooks or for students, but these colors are all beautiful and they move so well on paper. I'm impressed. Crimson. This is PR21 and PR13. PR13 being one more pigment I'm not familiar with. I have looked up on internet. It's called Toluidine Maroon. I don't know much about it, but the result is nice. A cool red, very nice. Rose, quinacridone rose PV19, beautiful magenta. I'm impressed also by the fact that they almost all single pigments. This is wonderful. This is really wonderful. I'm so happy they contacted me because this is so nice. This is so nice, very budget friendly, so that you can use it without feeling intimidated. It's good quality. Cerulean blue, this is a hue, because it's not the true pigment, which would be, I guess, too expensive. You go on with some little paint for a lot of time. There is a lot of pigment, but this is phthalo blue PB15 and white. It's typical typical cerulean hue, and it's beautiful, beautiful sky blue cerulean hue. Same thing for cobalt. It's not the genuine cobalt because cobalt is too expensive, and so it's a combination, it's a mix of white PW6 and ultramarine. It's a good imitation of cobalt, I find, and it's very pretty. Look at that. Now, ultramarine blue, and this is the true pigment PB29. It's a beautiful saturated PB29 ultramarine blue. It's very pretty. Lots of pigment. I'm impressed. Then Prussian blue, and this is also a hue. It's a cooler blue. It looks like a Prussian blue actually. It's more towards cyan, and it is phthalo and purple PV23. I can't even wash it down because it's very pigmented. Trying to show how it looks once washed down, because it does look like Prussian blue, although it's not PV27. It's a hue, which is maybe a good thing, because PB27 can have light fastness issues. Pale green, now this is not the type of green I like, because it's very artificial. It's Hansa yellow with phthalo green PG7, but I think you can desaturate it adding touch of red or brown, because it's only 2 pigments, which is very good, and 2 quality pigments. But greens very rarely are nice straight from the palette. This is prettier, and it's a beautiful sap green, very vibrant. Still, it would benefit from being desaturated, but it's a beautiful leaf green. Look at this, very pretty. Hansa yellow and phthalo green, this one. Deep green, forest green, a bit artificial, these two. But if you add, for instance, some brown or some black, you can make a nice shadow green. And single pigments phthalo green, which is very nice both for water or for mixing with the colors. I also use it for darks mixed with the alizarin crimson. I would mix it with this to make a dark, for instance. It's a type of black that I like, green and red. Now violet, PV23, a staple in each palette. I use this a lot for darkening other colors. For instance, it darkens greens very nicely. It has a huge dry shift, but it's very useful color. I don't notice a big difference across brands. And this is brilliant purple. It's the same pigment mixed with white, but it looks more reddish in this case. It's pretty for flowers, this one, for instance. Pansies. Look at this. Very pretty. Burnt sienna. This one is made with PR101, which is my favorite type of burnt sienna. It's more orangish. and not with PBR7. And it is a pretty burnt sienna, very orangey, very nice. Wow, this is so nice. Raw amber, it's PBR6, which is synthetic iron oxide, so plus PBK11 Mars Black. Should granulate this one. It's a beautiful raw amber. It's exactly what I have in mind when I talk about raw amber, very useful in landscapes, for trunks. Burnt amber, PBR6. PBR6 is not a pigment that you meet a lot. And the yellow ochre, PY42. Not a very dark burnt amber. I have met prettier burnt amber. I like darker burnt ambers. There's a beautiful color, but not a burnt amber that I would choose. And then black, a nice surprise. It's PBK11 Mars Black, granulating black. Very pretty black indeed, my favorite type of black. Very pigmented. Of course, while we wait for this to dry, we will do some advanced swatching to see if I can sketch something. Okay, for my sketch, I will use my new ball, my new palette, and my new watercolor paper pad. There are different sizes. This is a small size because I like to paint small, and I'll make some carrots. When it opens up, it's glued on 4 sides, which is my favorite type of paper because it stays put, it doesn't warp. Very nice texture. It's should be cold press, yeah, cold press, which is my favorite texture. Let's go with my carrots. I think I will speed up from now on. Oh, I must say that this was so much fun. This paper was fabulous. I have used these colors. I have used lemon yellow. I have used quinacridone rose. I have used ultramarine blue and a touch of burnt sienna. And I really like the way the color is mixed on paper or on the palette, and it was really a lot of fun. Great dispersion on paper. The paper itself is fantastic, and this porcelain tray is high quality, definitely. So I think that I have an opinion about this Meeden. Let me just go back to the swatches. We'll let dry our carrots and I'll come back to you. By the way, the idea for these carrots, I don't want to take credit, comes from this wonderful book by, let me put this away, come from this wonderful book by Sarah Cray, Watercolor Your Journey, that I will revise in my next video. And I told you that today it's my birthday and my son gave this to me. And I have learned a lot by Sarah Cray when I was a beginner, and I wanted her book so much because it is for all levels. And even this simple exercise with the carrot, it's simple, but it's very pretty. It's something that I would like, maybe taking advantage of the fact that my son is right now is here. He's been away for many years. I'd like to paint these simple but pretty exercises with him. So I'm so happy about this book and about my carrots, my new paint, and everything. Let's go back to the swatches. First of all, a small introduction. I think this set is meant for advanced students, not really for artists, because of the pigments that they're using. They don't have the most expensive pigments, and also a couple of pigments are not so light fast as they should be if this was totally artist grade, but I don't think this is what they want to do. In fact, they're not sold open stock. It's a set that you might be willing to buy if you're an advanced student. Now, this is the only limit to this paint, because let's start with the pick of colors, the choice of colors. I think that the choice of colors is just perfect. I maybe miss an alizarin crimson, but this crimson can do the trick, because there are 3 yellows from the cooler to the warmer, a yellow ochre, a very beautiful orange, the reds from the warmer vermilion to primary red, crimson, and a magenta. The blues are exactly what you need in blues, and the greens, this green, I don't think it's very useful, but I know the beginners don't like to mix the greens. They prefer to find the greens ready-made. So they have 4 greens. I could have had just a sap green and phthalo green, and that would have been enough for me. But as I said, for beginners, it's okay not to mix them, but remember to desaturate them with a touch of brown or red. The violets are beautiful. The earths are nice. The burnt umber is the only color that leaves me slightly, in Italian we say tiepida, lukewarm, that I'm not so impressed with. But the black is also beautiful. What else can I say about these colors? Well, they do not granulate much. So if you are very much into granulation, they do not expect them to granulate, even those that should granulate, like ultramarine or cobalt. It's not true cobalt, of course. It's a hue. And also, I haven't had the slightest binder issue, which is extraordinary for tubes, not once. And this is a set that you can really spend hours and hours of fun because colors are saturated and vibrant. There are a lot of single pigments. Look, there are 12 single pigments. It means that half of the colors are single pigments and the other half is two pigments, some just with white. Means that you can really play with this set, mix colors, experiments without fear of getting a muddy result. So impressive, really, really impressed with this set. I didn't expect such a good set. And actually, to be honest, this is what I did. I played a lot on paper, mixing on palette, and the result is everything but muddy. It's very lovely result, I think. So once again, I will leave my discount code if you're interested in Meeden products. I'm also curious about their gouache. Now I'm really curious about the gouache. These watercolors is really good in this range. I think in this type of student range, I think they top quality. Also because they come with the porcelain palette, they come with colors in tubes, which is rare, and I think it's very good to have tubes. They have these wonderful papers, so you can, as a beginner, you can stay within a reasonable budget and start with high quality supplies, which means that you get high quality results. I don't know if you have any experience with Meeden products. I already had some palettes, but not paint. This is the first time I try their paper and their paint, and I'm very impressed. Let me know if you knew this brand before, and just let me know if you have alternatives as students grey. What are your impressions with these colors? And thanks a lot for having watched this video with me. I hope you put a thumb up because that really helps. I hope that you subscribe to my channel if you aren't already subscribed. And ciao ciao, grazie mille from Elisabetta. Ciao!